you today? Very good. You're still here. I hear that it is the people who sit the longest and are there to the bitter end that are the winners. Have you heard that? So that means you are winners. Do you like that? Yes, me too. Me too. I like being a winner. It's always a good thing. Well, my name is Jarl Moe, and I am from Norway. So my English isn't that good. So during my presentation, I may say some wrong words, or it's not going to be correct grammatically. Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay, thank you very much. I'm doing well. Thank you. I have my teacher down here. He's going to make sure all my grammar is correct. Thank you, sir. Now, how many people in this room would like to pay less tax? There's sitting a guy over there who feels it's okay. Some people think it's okay. That it's okay to pay a lot of tax. Well, I normally say that there are things that you know, there are things that you don't know, there are things that you don't know, but the biggest thing of all are the things you don't know that you don't know. Example, I hope that you know that you can't do brain surgery. Do you? Good. Now, the big thing, though, is the things we don't know that we don't know. And the thing is that every time we tap into that area in our lives, that's when things happen. Because you increase your knowledge and you become more knowledgeable. Is that correct, sir, my grammar? Good. More knowledgeable. And then you do more things. Now, we are going to talk a lot about the things you don't know that you don't know today. And if I have done my job correctly here from stage today, you will know it, because guess what? You are not going to sleep tonight. So when you wake up tomorrow being a bit grumpy and thinking, I didn't sleep very well, then you understood what I taught you here today. And if somebody starts crying during my presentation, there are some tissues in the back. Now, I'm a founder of the company Tax Wizards. And Tax Wizards is one of the leading international tax companies, helping people in the internet industry to pay less or zero tax. Would you like to know what I know? Yes. Okay, good. I come to the right place. Well, I'm a speaker. I'm an investor. I'm an author and an entrepreneur. And I'm also a husband. Of these things on my list, what do you think is the most difficult part? Yes. And the speaker before me said, the biggest expense in your life are taxes. No, it's your wife. I just found out. So be aware. Now, I hope you have pen ready and able to write things down. Now, we are going to discuss these things and write them down. We're going to talk about IBC. IBC stands for International Business Company. Then we are going to talk about something called CIBC, and that stands for Cyprus International Business Company. And then we are going to talk a little bit about something called CGT, which stands for Capital Gains Taxes. And how do we feel about capital gains tax? Yes! I hate it. I really hate it. And we are going to discuss a little bit about that. Now, we are also going to discuss these two things before we move on. It's called tax avoidance and tax evasion. Now, who knows which of the two on this list is a bit naughty? Evasion. Tax evasion is basically just putting money in your pocket as a person that you should have had paid taxes on, not telling anybody about it. And I'm sure you have heard stories about people who's been busted on tax evasion, right? No. We are going to talk about tax avoidance. Because actually, even though it sounds a bit naughty, tax avoidance is actually legal. Tax avoidance means planning for avoiding to pay more tax than you need. using legal, correct ways. Example, if you make $1,000 a year and you have $100 in receipts, you're going to pay tax on $900, right? You are finding ways like receipts to decrease your income to pay less taxes. Now, let me tell you a story about John. Because I have a friend called John and he's living right outside this city. And John woke up this morning, was very, very tired. He got out of bed and he switched on the light to go into the bathroom and he paid taxes. Then he walked over into his bathroom, over to his tap, and he turned on the water and paid taxes. After washing his face, putting on his clothes, he went into his kitchen and decided to eat some breakfast. So as he was sitting down, pouring himself a cup of coffee with some stuff to eat, some toast on a rye, he paid taxes. Then he went downstairs to his car because he's living outside the city. So he went down to his car. He got into his car. He started the engine and paid taxes. Then he drove from where he's living into his work. And as he was driving into the city, there was a big sign saying congestion charges. And then he came to work and he ran up to work. He sits down and it's a Saturday. He sits down and as he sits down, starting working, he paid taxes. And it's a bit sad story because we actually lost John. And when we lost John, his family needed to pay taxes. This is the world you are living in. Would you like to get out of that? Yes. Would you like to do something about it? Say yes. 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 Very good. I have some energy in the room. We want to do something about it. Because the thing is, you're paying so much tax. I mean, you're paying income tax, you're paying national insurance, you are paying all these different taxes, VAT, everything that you are doing, you're paying taxes. It doesn't matter if all your income was completely tax-free and you put it in your pocket, as soon as you go to Starbucks, you start paying, right? So there is no way you can get away from it. You have to pay tax to help your environment, your country, etc., etc. Of course, we have to do that. But why pay more than needed if we don't have to? Do you agree? Yes. So we're going to discuss how we can avoid paying more taxes than we need. Now, how many people in this room like cake? Of course you do. You're English people. You eat cake. That's what you do. From early in the morning to late in the evening. And you have... It's true, isn't it? They're laughing, raising their hands. Especially the people raising their hands. They love cake. And you have it with tea. And that's... We're going to discuss it here. I'm going to actually describe to you now, sir, how you can have a delicious tax wizard's cake. Because you see, if you eat that cake over here, you are now going to magically, like Harry Potter, pay 10 to 40% tax every year. Whatever. Some taxes you have to pay there. Now, I need, without Harry Potter's help, by the way, I can also make cake. And that means that you will have the same fantastic result. It will be delicious in your mouth and you will love it. It will look the same. You will have the same end result having cake. And if you eat my cake, you are going to pay 0 tax. Now, I know this is a difficult question. But which cake do you want? We're going to do a little test. The people who would like the cake on the left, please say yes now. Almost. And the people who would like to have the Harry Potter cake over there, please say yes now. Yes. Wow. Well, let's do that again. Say it again now. Yes. Wow. This is amazing. Now, that's fantastic. And we're going to discuss it. What I mean is, let's say you're going to have an internet business. Are you interested in having an internet business and making money on the internet? Yeah. Fantastic. So let's say you have this internet business. And now you have your internet business and you're going to make money. You are going to have the result making money. What we're going to discuss here today is how you can have your internet business, whatever business you're in, having your business, making money, but not paying tax on it. Is that interesting? Yes. Very good. Now, what is really tax planning? Well, tax planning, of course, is something that most people don't do. What you guys do is that you get an accountant. Now, having an accountant is a good thing, but that is no tax planning. Actually, many accountants, they just basically take your receipts from your income, and then they are left with whatever is the profit, and you have to pay tax on it. Isn't that correct? That's not tax planning. Tax planning is planning in advance, thinking about how you can legally avoid paying more taxes, taking action and doing something about it. That's tax planning. Using all the international laws to your benefit. Because if you're going to be in the internet business, you are in a global business. Right. You can have clients anywhere in the world. They can send you money on checks, on Visa cards, etc. Couldn't they? Now, you have to plan how to deal with that, and you have to do that now. Would you like to do it now? Yes. Would you like to think ahead? Yes. Very good. Now, here are some very important things. Everybody has the right to decide where to be tax resident. Many people come to me and say, to do this tax planning thing, do I have to leave? Do I have to go somewhere else? No, you can stay here, okay? But if, of course, you leave somewhere else, you will be that, and you will pay taxes over there. Everybody has the right to use international tax planning to their benefit. That's your right. And remember, a company is a different legal identity than you. And just to drive this point through, I would like to give you an example. Can you guys have shares in Vodafone? Yes. And if you're a shareholder, do you have to pay taxes on the profits of Vodafone? No. If you're a shareholder, Vodafone makes whatever, $1 trillion. You are just a shareholder. It's the company's responsibility to pay the tax, not you. Now, do you have to file the accounts for Vodafone? No. Vodafone is Vodafone. You're a shareholder. You're a shareholder. That's the company over there. Two different legal identities. Very, very important. And in anything you do in your life, you have three choices. And write these choices down. Number one. Whatever you're doing, let's say you're doing internet business, you're setting up a domain or a website. Let's talk about that as an example. You have three choices. Number one, you can do it and set it up in your name. In your name. That's number one. Number two, you can set it up using a limited company in your country. You can put it into the limited company's name in your country. Number three, you can set it up in an IBC. So you could own the domain and websites and everything through an IBC, International Business Company. Basically a company which is just as any limited company, but it's not registered in your country. Do you understand? That's the IBC. Those are the three choices. Whatever you're doing in your life, always think about them. You're going to buy a house. You can buy the house in your name, through a company's name, in your country, or through an IBC. You're going to buy and sell shares in your name, through a limited company, or through an IBC. You always have those options. And let's discuss why we're going to use an IBC. Do you know that if you make $1 or a pound or whatever, or euro, whatever you're making, do you know about 80% of all that money is going to disappear in taxes? It's absolutely unbelievable. If you use an IBC to do all your different business,